Hi, my name is Camila Abril. I am in 7th semester of psychology and this is my PDF project for English 5 and 6. Okay, as I said, I'm in 7th semester of psychology and my favorite field of my career is neuropsychology. Because of this, I'm going to explain you how the development is influenced by biology, genetics, social aspects and psychological aspects because it's usual that people think that psychological life begins just when we are born, and that's totally wrong because the relationship between mom and baby influences the beginning of a psychological life. Because of this, I'm going to give you some facts that show how the development is influenced by those aspects. So let's start. Okay, the first one. When a mother smokes cigarettes while she's pregnant, the fetus heart rate increases and the fetus tend to respond to it and actually to loud noises, but what looks like crying. Also, since the pregnancy, there is a social interaction because the baby is being socialized. So, for example, the baby learns to recognize some noises that we prefer after birth. Actually, this happens with more social aspects, like for example, food. If the mom eats garlic while she's pregnant, the baby tends to show less aversion to it after birth. Another example that shows the importance of this relationship between mom and baby is that if a softly sound explains again a depressed pregnant woman's stomach, the fetus tend to respond to it with high heart rates in comparison to babies of non-depressed mothers. Actually, the babies of non-depressed mothers can calm down faster than the other babies. Another important field that shows that psychological life begins before birth is twins examples. There are a lot of experiments, and one of them use a scan and observation of twins, and they say that there are, for example, if a twin just push back the other, sometimes there are a group that respond to this by staying away, but another group of twins respond to this situation pushing back. So they name this situation like personalities forming in the utero, and they see that this kind of personalities just keep staying in the future of the baby's life. And for example, if the twin that tends to push back maybe is going to be more aggressive, but it's just a maybe because as I said, it's the interaction of those factors what is going to define how it's going to be the baby. Okay. Another important aspect that shows how the meeting of biology and psychology in the baby's life is that there are a lot of experiments that show there is a correlation between maternal and fetus high cortisol levels. For example, they said that anxiety and stress influence the birth weight of the baby, and there are precipitating factors for birth complications like prematurity. This is why you always hear that it's necessary to take care of their mood if you are pregnant, because this can affect your baby in a really significant way. Also, the state of mind of the mother can affect the baby's behavior a year or even more after birth. For example, a mother who is cut off her biology affects the fetus and can make her or him insecure in his future life. But it's just a maybe, as I said. Okay, that was all, but I'm going to give you some conclusions. The first one is that psychological life begins before physical birth, and the second one is that a human being is influenced by a lot of aspects, like social aspect, culture, the context, biology, and genetics, and it is the interaction among those aspects what is going to define how this is going to be the baby. But it is the interaction, it is not just biology or just genetics, because the context is really, really important. And okay, that was all. Bye.